There are days, aren't there, when peace feels like a memory, a faint, beautiful echo of a time you can't quite place. It exists in the mind as a half-forgotten dream, a place where the noise finally stops, where the need to constantly do and be finally melts away. You wake up, and before your feet even touch the floor, the restlessness is already there. It's a low hum in your spirit, a vibration of anxiety that the modern world seems to amplify, a relentless, unforgiving static. It's in the urgent glow of your screen, the constant demands of the world outside your window, and the ceaseless expectations of the world inside your own head. Your heart races, even when you're still. Your thoughts won't rest. They spin like loose gears, catching on every worry, every missed deadline, every unspoken fear you've tucked away. You try to force them into submission, to organize the chaos, but the effort only brings more exhaustion. You've become fluent in the language of worry. Sleep, that nightly promise of renewal, has become a stranger. You lie there, tracing the shadows on the ceiling, negotiating with the silence for just one moment of calm. Every clock tick is a reminder of the things left undone, the control you don't possess, the uncertainty of tomorrow. You are tired. Not just physically tired, though your body aches from the tension. You are soul tired, scattered, spiritually dry. You've poured out from a cup that was already empty, striving for a sense of control over things that were never meant to be governed by your hand. You feel the slow depletion of your inner light. You feel unseen, perhaps, forgotten in the crush of a noisy, always-on world that values contribution over contemplation. You're adrift in a vast, overwhelming sea of opinions and demands, desperately searching for an anchor, a quiet voice in the tempest that can call your name and calm the waters. It is precisely into this wilderness, into this deep, undeniable human need for respite that a very old song was written. Not a song from a place of comfort and ease, but a song forged in the valley. A shepherd's anthem, written in the heat of a harsh landscape, yet filled with an intimacy that whispers directly to your exhausted heart. It is the 23rd Psalm, the words that have carried souls for centuries, the words that have been whispered at bedsides, shouted over graves, and hummed in the lonely dark of the human experience. They begin with a declaration that changes the very coordinates of your life. They state a relationship that is complete, sufficient, and utterly secure. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. From this sacred poem comes not an escape from reality, but a profound blueprint for endurance, a practical spiritual map for moving from anxiety and striving to reflection, to a quiet, unshakable trust. From this ancient wisdom come 10 essential lessons for every soul searching for enduring peace. Lesson 1. The Lord is my shepherd. You are not alone. Look back at the last few months. How often have you felt like you were just drifting, like a piece of wreckage in the water, caught in a current you didn't choose and can't control? The modern soul is prone to a specific kind of profound loneliness, the kind you feel even when surrounded by a crowd. It is the aching sense of being unseen, of having your deepest struggles overlooked, because you've mastered the art of appearing fine, of saying, "I'm okay," when your spirit is crumbling. You're trying to navigate complicated moral and physical terrain without a compass, making every decision heavier, more exhausting than it needs to be. You feel like a role, a consumer, a productivity metric, anything but a truly beloved individual. But the psalm begins with a radical claim of ownership and intimacy. It doesn't say God is a shepherd or God helps some people when they ask. It says, "The Lord is my shepherd." It's a statement of personal, possessive, undeniable relationship. The essence of this truth is that you are not simply a sheep in an anonymous flock. You are known by the shepherd. He does not manage the crowd. He tends to the one. His care is not generic. It is specific to the unique texture of your life, the particular wounds of your past, and the precise needs of this very moment. Your name is written on his heart, Peace begins when you allow this truth to settle deep into the foundation of your identity. You are not alone. This means your life is not a random sequence of chaotic, meaningless events. There is a benevolent, powerful hand guiding it. Even in the profound silence, when God feels most distant, when the path ahead is obscured by thick, disheartening fog, the shepherd is not absent. He is not lost. He walks beside you, holding the boundary of your safety. He has a stake in your well-being. He is accountable for your safe arrival. The greatest antidote to the anxiety of feeling forgotten is the recognition of this divine, personal, continuous companionship. Imagine standing on a quiet, high hillside just before dawn. The air is cool and crisp. Above you, the sheer, infinite expanse of the waking sky. You feel small, yes, but utterly powerfully held. The light begins to break, not with a sudden, overwhelming flash, but with a gentle, persistent promise warming the earth slowly. This is the feeling of the shepherd's presence, the immense cosmic power of the Creator, focused entirely on the fragile, specific needs of your heart. You are not unseen. You are His. Lesson 2. He makes me lie down in green pastures. Rest is holy. We live in a culture that mistakes exhaustion for virtue. We wear busyness like a badge of honor, always pushing, always achieving, always performing for an invisible audience. We've been conditioned to believe that self-worth is derived from output. Our bodies crave stillness, but our minds fear it, whispering, if you stop, you'll fall behind. If you pause, you're lazy. We tell ourselves, if I just work harder, if I just achieve this next impossible thing, then I can rest. But the finish line always moves further away. The pressure to strive for our value becomes a relentless inner taskmaster, leading to a profound spiritual bankruptcy where we confuse our pace with our true purpose. The psalm does not say, He waits until I decide to lie down. It says, He makes me lie down in green pastures. This is not a passive suggestion. It is a divine intervention, a necessary loving force. The shepherd understands that we, like sheep, are often too restless, too fearful of predators, or too distracted by the next patch of dry, meager grass to stop ourselves. We are compelled to rest. This rest is not a reward for your work. It is a gift for your soul, provided unconditionally. It is a moment of total ceasefire on the battlefield of your own debilitating ambitions. The green pastures represent immediate, abundant provision and safety, the two elements absolutely required for the soul to truly let go. The spiritual truth here is that rest is holy. It is an active, profound act of trust in the one who holds the world together. When you allow yourself to lie down, you are declaring, my safety and my significance do not depend on my vigilance. My future is not contingent upon my frantic pace. Your true worth is not measured by your productivity, your checking of boxes, or your ability to keep up the charade. Your truest value is found simply in your existence, in your being held in His presence. The essential path to peace is paved with moments of deliberate, guilt-free stillness, a Sabbath for the anxious soul. Picture a vast field, impossibly emerald green, stretching effortlessly to the horizon. The sun is warm and restorative, not harsh. You can feel the soft, cool earth beneath your weary body. Every muscle, from the tension in your jaw to the knot in your shoulders, unclenches and softens. You hear nothing but the gentle breeze moving through the tall grass and the slow, steady rhythm of your own heart calming down. This is the moment when striving gives way entirely to surrender. You are not running to a task. You are simply resting in the truth that you are already enough. Lie down. It is safe now. The world will not crumble because you breathed. Lesson 3. He leads me beside still waters. Calm is possible. The human heart is often a turbulent sea, constantly churned by external and internal forces. We are constantly battered by the winds of anxiety, the what-ifs that stalk us in the pre-dawn hours, the relentless churn of worry about every unknown variable in the future. Life is, by its nature, chaos. The unrelenting noise of the city, the demands of the digital world, the unexpected shocks of bad news, they create an inner storm that makes clear thought and stable emotion impossible. You feel the heavy current pulling you under, the waves of panic threatening to capsize your inner life. You long for a single quiet space where you can drink and find solid footing. The shepherd knows a fundamental biological truth. Sheep cannot drink from rushing, turbulent water. They will panic, fear the noise, and drown in the attempt. They must be led carefully to still waters. The promise is not that the storms of life will suddenly disappear, that the winds outside your window will cease. The promise is that you will be led to a safe, quiet harbor within the storm itself. This is the difference between frantically controlling the waves and wisely trusting the vessel and the captain. Peace is not the absence of external chaos. It is the deliberate cultivation of stillness within you. It is the life-saving realization that you don't need to control the circumstances to survive them. Still waters begin the moment you consciously stop fighting the current of anxiety. You let go of the exhausting need to mentally solve every potential problem that hasn't even arrived. You surrender the illusion of total control over tomorrow. When you consciously place your deepest trust in the shepherd's careful leading, you are free to stop rowing against the tide of your fears. The stillness is a place of deep, profound acceptance, a place where you drink in the quiet strength of God, not the frantic noise of your own fearful thoughts. This calm is possible, but it must be chosen deliberately over the impulse to fix, to manage, and to fear. Envision a lake at the deepest point of dusk. The surface is perfectly flat, an absolute unmoving mirror reflecting the inverted world, the silent ancient trees, the first gathering of the brilliant stars. No ripple, no movement, just a deep crystalline clarity. As you look into it, your own image is finally clear, undistorted by fear or motion. This is the gift of still waters, not just a place to drink for hydration, but a place to see yourself and your true path with perfect life-giving clarity. Be still and drink deeply. Let the fear simply flow past. Lesson 4, He restores my soul. Healing takes time. You've been running on empty, running on fumes for a long time. The energy you have is borrowed, the smile you wear is practiced, and the internal engine is sputtering, warning you it's about to seize. You are suffering from soul fatigue, a spiritual weariness that is far deeper than mere physical exhaustion. It is the deep emptiness that comes from years of overgiving, of enduring silent cruelty, and perhaps of neglecting the deep, silent wounds you carry. Trauma, grief, and long-term stress do not just make you tired. They deplete your very essence, leaving you hollowed out, ready to break. You need more than a simple vacation. You need a resurrection of your inner life. The psalm says, "He restores my soul." The Hebrew word here carries the weight of a true return. It is often translated as, "He brings me back." It is the act of gently turning a wandering, weary, often injured soul back toward its true, healthy self, back toward its Creator. Restoration is a process, not a miracle. It is not a sudden jolt, but a slow, patient unfolding of grace over time. The shepherd doesn't condemn the broken sheep for being broken. He carefully splints the injury, gently carries the weary one, and tends the sickness with persistent care. He does not rush the healing. He honors the pace of your brokenness. Give yourself the sacred permission to heal slowly. The journey from deep burnout to abiding peace is not a straight, quick line, but a circuitous path made up of small, intentional, often difficult steps back toward vitality. Recognize that you are not responsible for forcing your own restoration. Your only task is to submit the damaged parts of yourself to the hands of the great restorer. Peace is the rhythm of grace. It is the acceptance that you are fragile and that your complete recovery is being held by a strength far greater than your own. Every act of forgiveness, every moment of self-compassion, every tear you allow yourself to shed is an act of restoration in silent, necessary progress. Imagine an ancient, shattered clay pot, kintsugi. Instead of throwing it away, it is painstakingly pieced back together, the cracks filled with shining, beautiful gold dust. The repair does not hide the damage. It honors it. It makes the object stronger, more precious and more beautiful for having been profoundly broken and carefully mended. See the divine light filling your own broken places. The scars do not define you, but they bear witness to the power of the gentle, patient hand that brought you back from the brink. Be patient with your own soul. It is being carefully remade. Lesson 5. He leads me in paths of righteousness, guidance in confusion. The path of a meaningful life is rarely a straight, obvious highway. More often, it is a confusing maze of crossroads, conflicting advice from every direction, and moral ambiguities that paralyze action. You feel a constant exhausting indecision, a paralysis born of the terrifying fear of making the one wrong move that will ruin everything. The modern world presents an overwhelming, crushing number of choices, leading to a deep moral and mental fatigue. You desperately ask, which way is right? What is the good choice here? Where do I even begin in this complexity? You are frantically searching for a clear signpost in the thick, disorienting fog. The shepherd leads me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. This guidance is not simply a utilitarian map. It is fundamentally a character reference. He leads you on the right path, not because you deserve the clarity, but because his reputation, his goodness, his name, his integrity is intrinsically tied to your well-being and safe arrival. The guidance you truly need does not usually come in a dramatic, disembodied flash of light, but in a quiet conviction, a small, steady inner voice, a sense of rightness that resonates deep within you when you choose the path of integrity, even when it is the harder, less profitable one. Peace in the midst of paralyzing confusion comes from this powerful liberation. You do not have to see the whole road. The shepherd only asks you to focus your attention and take the next step he illuminates. Focus not on the grand destination, which often feels too large to comprehend, but on the small, immediate direction. When you choose integrity over expediency, character over comfort, and kindness over criticism, you are following the right path. Trust the internal conviction. It is the divine GPS system. You don't need the terrifying weight of the full revelation. You just need the courage for the next single moment. Imagine walking on a treacherous mountain trail on a moonless night, carrying a small, oil-fed lantern. The light does not reveal the entire mountain range. It only illuminates the 3 feet directly in front of you. But you know that the person holding the grand map, the shepherd, is walking right beside you. He is the one who plotted the entire safe course. Your task is simply to keep your eyes on the small, manageable circle of light and take the next confident step into the darkness. The right way is often the quiet way. Trust the small light. Lesson 6. Though I walk through the valley of the shadow, courage in fear, this is the hardest, coldest part of the human journey. The valley. This is the season of profound darkness. Not a brief shadow cast by a cloud, but a prolonged, cold and heavy passage that seems to swallow all hope. It may be the valley of acute grief, where loss has stripped the color and sound from the world. It may be the valley of deep depression, where the light feels not just dim, but entirely unreachable. It may be the valley of severe uncertainty, where your health, your security, or your entire future is entirely unknown. In this place, fear is not a fleeting emotion. It is a suffocating atmosphere, a heavy cloak you cannot remove. You feel alone, chilled to the bone, and profoundly vulnerable. The psalm does not offer the naive promise, "I will avoid the valley of difficulty." It faces the reality head-on, declaring, "Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil." This is not a promise of immunity from suffering. It is a profound declaration of courage in the active midst of the trial. The peace of the shepherd is not the removal of the shadow, but the absolute certainty of his presence inside the darkness with you. Fear is a natural, involuntary response to threat. Courage is the choice to keep placing one foot in front of the other, knowing that the shepherd's presence is a greater, more protective reality than the shadows around you. Remember this crucial, physical truth: a shadow, no matter how deep or frightening or dark, is simply an interruption of the light. It is irrefutable proof that a source of light, the shepherd, is standing nearby, even if currently obscured by the contours of your struggle. Your task is to focus not on the size and intensity of the shadow, but on the source that casts it. This piece is an act of defiant hope. It says, "I will not let this darkness define me. I will not be paralyzed by this fear, because the presence of my guide nullifies the ultimate power of the danger." The valley is a temporary passage, not a permanent address. You are walking through it. Picture walking deep into a narrow, cold, winding canyon. The air is still and heavy, but when you look up, you can still see a ribbon of high blue sky and a brilliant distant light. As you turn your head, you see the shepherd's silhouette, immense and comforting, standing between you and the sun, casting the very shadow that reminds you he is there. The shadows fall behind you as you walk toward the light. Keep moving. You are not trapped. You are accompanied. Lesson 7, your rod and staff. Comfort me. Discipline brings security. We have a human tendency to recoil instantly from the idea of correction. We equate discipline only with harsh punishment, with a cold, severe judgment for past failures. When life hands us difficulty, a setback, a necessary confrontation, a broken boundary, we often ask, "What did I do to deserve this pain?" We resist the very boundaries that might actually protect us, preferring the intoxicating illusion of total, unmanaged freedom. This rejection of guidance often leaves us unprotected, utterly vulnerable to self-sabotage, and dangerously lost in the chaos of our own unmanaged desires and impulses. We suffer because we lack the firm hand of constraint. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. This is one of the most counterintuitive, radical claims in the entire psalm. Why would instruments of correction and control bring comfort? The shepherd's rod and staff have two distinct, essential functions. The rod is a weapon of defense, used to fight off wild predators like wolves and bears. The staff is a tool used to hook, gently guide, and quickly pull a wandering sheep back from a dangerous precipice or a poisonous patch of weeds. Discipline, in this context, is not about inflicting harm. It is entirely about security and salvation. It is the shepherd drawing a clear, non-negotiable boundary and saying, "This way is life, and that way is destruction. I love you too much to let you wander there." Peace arrives when you fundamentally reorient your perception of correction, seeing it through the lens of love and protection, not condemnation. Every boundary, every difficult consequence that firmly brings you back to the right path is a profound, active demonstration of care. The rod of correction protects your life from external and internal predators. The staff of guidance assures your direction and prevents fatal mistakes. Embrace the necessary discipline. It is undeniable proof that you are valuable enough to be saved from your own short-sighted folly. It is the boundary that allows you to feel truly secure, knowing that even when you want to run toward immediate tempting danger, you will be firmly, gently drawn back to life. Envision the shepherd walking diligently at the edge of a deep, unseen ravine, obscured by mist. A young, easily distracted sheep wanders toward the edge, focused only on a colorful but poisonous plant. The shepherd swiftly extends the staff, hooks the sheep's neck or leg, and pulls it firmly and quickly back to solid, safe ground. There is a moment of panic in the animal, followed instantly by the overwhelming sense of relief and safety in the secure enclosure of the flock. The momentary discomfort of the pull has, quite literally, saved the life of the one being pulled. Trust the correction. It is an embrace disguised as a boundary. Lesson 8. You prepare a table before me. Abundance in scarcity. How often do you measure your entire life, your success, your happiness, by what you lack? You look at your empty hands, your unfinished projects, your unfulfilled expectations, and the cruel voice of scarcity begins to shout its lies. You feel deeply rejected, overlooked in a sea of apparent success, and perpetually spiritually hungry. The world around you may feel actively hostile, filled with critics, rivals, or circumstances that feel designed to prevent your flourishing. This internal state is one of constant, gnawing fear that there won't be enough, of resources, of affection, of time, of strength. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. This is perhaps the most audacious, confrontational image in the entire psalm. The shepherd does not wait for a safe, sanitized, perfectly secured setting. He sets a feast, a table of provision, honor, and undeniable abundance, right in the middle of the most hostile, aggressive territory. Your enemies, your worries, your anxieties, your critics are all forced to witness your blessing. This teaches a profound, liberating truth. The abundance of God is not constrained by the scarcity of your circumstances or the open opposition of your foes. It is available now, exactly where you are in this moment of tension. Peace is found when you decisively shift your focus from the threats and the noise around the table to the feast on the table. Your only job is simply to sit down and eat. This table represents the honor, the sustenance, the divine rest, and the security that are yours regardless of external conditions. Trust that your table of blessing is being meticulously set in secret, even as the enemy plots and the circumstances rage. This abundance is not just material. It is the unshakable dignity of being a cherished guest of the King, cared for, provided for, and protected in plain sight of every fear you hold. Imagine the scene vividly. A desolate, windswept territory suddenly transforms. A perfectly laid wooden table, draped in heavy white linen, appears. There are candles burning steadily, warm broken bread, and a full crystalline cup. Around the perimeter stand the defeated forces of your worry, rejection, and scarcity, watching in silenced powerlessness. You sit down, the light of the provision reflecting warmly in your eyes. Rest, abundance, and honor are your utterly secure portion. The feast is ready. Come and be nourished by the impossible. Lesson 9. My cup overflows. Gratitude opens the heart. The human mind has a magnetic, almost gravitational pull toward lack. We are wired for survival, which often manifests as an obsession with the deficit, the one thing missing from an otherwise full life, the one bill unpaid, the one harsh word spoken that day. This obsession with what is not present blinds us to the overwhelming goodness and sheer volume of grace that already surrounds us. The result is a subtle, constant feeling of insufficiency, a spiritual stinginess that keeps our hearts closed off, unable to fully receive the joy and peace that is, in reality, already present. Our cup is full, but we only look for the space above the liquid. Following the dramatic table of abundance, the psalm declares the state of the grateful heart. My cup overflows. This is not just a full cup where the water is at the brim. It is a cup that cannot possibly hold all the blessing, a goodness, and a mercy that actively spills over the sides and onto the ground around you. The overflowing cup is a symbol of superabundance and radical, overflowing gratitude. It shifts the focus entirely from need and deficit to plenty and superfluity. Gratitude is the essential spiritual lens that allows you to see the overflow that is already happening in your life right now. It is the peace that comes from the bold declarative statement, I have enough. Indeed, I have more than enough. The practical practice of peace, therefore, is the practice of radical gratitude. Start small. Intentionally notice the sun on your skin, the breath in your lungs, the simple comfort of the chair beneath you, the clarity of a moment's thought. These small daily mercies are not minor details. They are collectively the water in the overflowing cup. When you intentionally name and appreciate the goodness that spills over the brim, you open your heart to a profound peace that is multiplied by thanksgiving. You realize that your life is not a vessel that constantly needs filling, but a wellspring that is constantly pouring out life and light. Picture a magnificent ancient stone fountain, perpetually receiving water from an unseen, underground source. Water is constantly rushing into it and constantly cascading over the brim, refreshing the dry earth around it and creating new life. The water does not hesitate. It does not stop to measure. It simply flows with unrestrained, confident generosity. See your life as that vessel, not clinging to the water within, but letting the goodness pour out freely to the world, because the source behind you is infinite. Your cup is full, more than full. Do you truly see it? Lesson 10, surely goodness and mercy will follow. The peace that stays, you've fought for this peace. You've experienced the stillness of the green pastures, but the human heart is prone to a final, subtle, paralyzing fear. The fear of losing the peace you've just found. We worry that the valley is coming back, that the chaos will return, that we are only one bad phone call, one failure, or one illness away from having to start the spiritual journey all over again. This anxiety about the future diminishes the joy and security of the present moment. We cling desperately to peace, which paradoxically means we cannot fully possess it. The psalm ends not with a simple hope or a wish, but with an absolute divine assurance. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. This is a powerful, active, relentless pursuit. Goodness and mercy, the fundamental, unchangeable nature of the shepherd, are not passively waiting for you to stumble upon them or for you to catch up. They are aggressively chasing you down, like powerful hunting dogs, but dogs of pure love. The peace you seek is not a fragile feeling you have to manufacture or a delicate achievement you have to constantly maintain. It is a fact, a reality, that is relentlessly pursuing you through every single day. No matter where you run, this is the ultimate peace. The profound realization that your life is bracketed, surrounded, and bookended by unrelenting, purposeful love. Peace isn't a fragile, fleeting moment you have to protect with perfect spiritual effort. It's a lifelong companion who will not, cannot abandon you. It is the conviction that even when you stray, when you stumble, when you forget the shepherd and fail spectacularly, goodness and mercy will always be right there, just behind you, ready to lift you up, ready to restore you to the path. You are not required to hold on to God with perfect strength. You are entirely secure because He holds on to you with absolute power. Imagine a lone figure walking across a vast, endless, dusty terrain. Behind them, two immense, radiant beings, goodness, clothed in brilliant light, and mercy, with a calming, gentle presence, walk in perfect, tireless lockstep, their footsteps exactly matching the figure's pace. They are not waiting at the finish line. They are present at every single step, casting a radiant light that pushes back the shadows from behind. You are never, ever ahead of your blessing. They are following. You are utterly covered. You began this journey in the noise, with the sound of a racing heart, the cacophony of worry, and the clamor of 1,000 modern demands. You were tired, scattered, and desperately searching for the quiet of the green pastures. The 23rd Psalm has taken you through the deepest, coldest valleys and led you to the highest, most clear ground. It has revealed a profound, liberating secret. The path to enduring peace is not found in a grand act of escape from your life, but in an enduring, simple act of trust in the one who guides it. It is a song of endurance, not of emotional ease. It is a guide for the journey, not just the destination. The wisdom of the shepherd reminds you that your greatest struggles, your deepest fears, and your most profound brokenness are the very places where His greatest provisions are always found. You have learned that you are not alone, but utterly known. You have learned that you must rest because your worth is not in your pace, but in His unwavering presence. You have learned that your healing is a gentle, patient process that cannot be rushed. And you have learned that even in the deepest, most crushing shadow, you can fear no evil, because His rod and His staff are your defense, your constant, loving companions. Peace isn't found when the storm ends. It's found when you finally remember who's in the boat with you and who controls the sea. You may not control the winds that buffet your life. You may not command the seasons of change, and you may not dictate the timing of the breaking light. But you can rest, you can breathe, you can stand still. Knowing the shepherd does, he is your provision, your protection, your patience, and the very foundation of your purpose, and your ultimate destination is settled, absolute and certain. If this message brought peace to your heart, share it with someone you know is still searching for calm in the chaos.